From Italian forward Giuseppe Savoldi's world record fee of £1.2 million in 1975 to Cristiano Ronaldo's world record £80 million move in 2009, transfer fees have been climbing at a high rate. In 2019, for the first time ever, football clubs spent more than €10 billion on transfer fees. This figure has more than tripled over the past decade in parallel with the increase of club revenues. Contrary to what is often put forward by persons outside the football world, the amounts for transfer indemnities are not irrational. They are fixed by market actors based on criteria which are for the most part objective. So what are these market actors? Do clubs just look at a bunch of stats on a player to determine his or her value? The variables included in the estimation of the transfer fees for professional footballers can be divided in three groups. These variables include the variables related to players, the variables relative to clubs, and a contextual variable, the season during which the transfer took place. The player variables. The variables related to players are numerous. They include the length of contract remaining with the current club. The more time available on the player's contract, the higher his valuation. The release clause. The higher the release clause, the higher the player's valuation. Age. The younger the player, the higher his valuation. Squad status. Is this player an indispensable member of the team? Is the player an important first-team player? Is the player a valued member of the squad? Is the player a backup to the first team? The more integral the player is to his team, the higher his valuation. No football team wants to lose their best players. If the player isn't playing as much as he would like, he could also force a transfer through. Next is the iconic status. The status that a player can bring to a club will increase their value. If a player would increase commercial value, ticket sales, TV contracts, they will be much higher in value. Ronaldo has a massive iconic status within football world. As well as being one of the best, he has a huge celebrity status he carries with him. This is why Juventus paid £100 million for his services at an age of 33. Image rights. This is what a player projects to bring in merchandising sales. If a player has been linked to bad off-field problems, this could lead to price falling. Players' position. Attacking midfielders, central and wide areas in the final third of the field, and forwards are considered more premium. Talent. This is of course the major aspect to a player's valuation. A talented player will require a higher transfer fee. Next is the club's variables. The variables relative to clubs refer to the level of teams where footballers were playing before their transfer on both a sporting and financial level. From the sporting point of view, the team's level is calculated on the basis of results obtained and the league of belonging. Now, the level of league they belong to itself is calculated on the basis of results achieved by clubs having represented the country in question in international competitions. From the economic point of view, the club's level is calculated on the basis of recent investments undertaken in transfer fees. This also takes into account spending on the acquisition of players at the level of their league. The financial strength of the recruiting club is very necessary. Selling clubs usually tend to inflate the transfer values of players when they are selling to a wealthy club. The contextual variable. An example is inflation. Players are generally evaluated more today than they would have been 10 years ago. It's just the way it is. Another contextual variable is the current pandemic. The evaluations of players have dropped slightly since the pandemic took its full effect. Other factors that are not widely common but could explain the discrepancies in transfer values are a club's urgent need for liquidity, a disagreement between a coach or fellow teammates, the recruitment of another footballer who plays in the same position, disciplinary or physical problems, outstanding performance in youth competition, and so on. I hope this video has helped you understand how players are evaluated for a transfer. And so the next time you see a price tag on a player, at least you know some of the variables that were considered. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe and turn on your post notifications.